That's weird.
Are
No,
we
you're
live?
not weird, Logan. You're fine.
Okay.
It's us that is weird.
Okay.
I'm
Um,
weird.
Yeah.
but you're Big Bad Mama.
Yeah, but I'm a strange person. I'm not a bad person, but
Uh,
I'm a strange person.
oh, what do you talk about the you guys did a response to those shows?
Claude did a lot
Yeah.
of responses to Proverbs, guys. Maybe he can talk about it a little bit.
Yes. Well, I
Yeah.
heard them, saying that there was even Dustin say he wants to try and do something about it. I don't know what that means, but um, the more that and then they make the point that if it's, Achilles says it's nothing personal, and if Hovind was to stop, then I would stop. Well, he's sort of right, but
Yeah,
but it's a weird thing to say. It's nothing personal. That almost is a compliment to me.
he was right there too.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
But
after,
Dustin said he had to quell you.
yeah, somehow, yeah, had to. Well, I hope that he's not the only person left after the, what do they call it, where everybody gets
Rapture.
taken up to rapture, because he said he's not going to be a nice person. I don't know why. Uh, but
He's going to
oh,
be like one of these demons you see out on the highways when it's a post-apocalyptic world and he's just killing people. That's kind
but
of how he made it sound.
oh,
yeah,
did they say that you and Kent should get married?
well, there's something that I was in love with him, or something. But that was
Oh,
just one of those things. But there were some
I
other.
mean, it was a veiled,
oh,
I took it as like a veiled homophobic reference myself.
Well, yes. Well, funnily enough, they complain about you. I mean, they're the ones that say that the people with different sexual orientation should be whatever, damned or whatever, and they're trying to say that you do. It's just bizarre to me. They switch
Right.
everything around. Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
they project
yeah.
a lot of stuff onto atheists after atheists say things. Like atheists will say, um, all you have is faith to a creationist. And of course, a creationist will come back and say, oh, all you have is faith.
Yeah. It's a
Nothing
religion.
original.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
just
yeah.
turn our criticisms into their suppositions.
Oh, that's a good way of putting it. Yeah, that's correct. Um, and this whole thing about trying to make a religion and science the same by saying that science is a religion. That's just a nonsense. There has to be a difference between the two. Otherwise, we would just call it religion. We wouldn't even call it science. We wouldn't call science science. It's just stupid to try and define that. And by twisting the dictionary definition, you don't believe in science like you believe in religion. It's just,
And time is our God, or Hovind
oh,
will say something like that, which is just ridiculous.
yeah. So that's where,
yeah.
and, but, fortunately for us, we don't hate the sinner, we just hate the sin.
Oh, is it
So,
true? Did they ever say you believe in Father Time, Mary, Mother Nature to have humans?
oh, that sounds, well,
I haven't heard that. That would make a good movie, though.
I did once hear that, how babies are born, and it was when a, when a father sails his ship into a mother's harbor. I thought that was
Oh,
nice.
Oh, that's poetic.
oh,
Yeah.
Big Bad Mama, I have a question. Is it true that 20 degree Charles Darwin had was in religion? That's what Kent says.
Well,
I
it probably
believe
true. Yeah, but it doesn't
I
matter.
believe he had an actual theology degree, but we're talking about he studied a lot of science in college, and he went on a research ship. So, I mean, compared with what Kent has never taken a college science class, whereas Darwin took a lot of science in college. He just didn't get his degree in it.
But you got to remember, this was what 100 and something years ago.
Over
This is
150
before
years ago.
degrees were widely, he was at the forefront of science,
Right.
and his idea turned into the theory has been supported by evidence all the way along. That's the difference. Whereas Hovind, the canopy theory, A, he stole the idea from someone else, and B, it's nonsense. It's not even a theory. It's not even a hypothesis. It's just
Right.
something he plucked out of his, shall we say, nether regions.
A sentence from the Bible. I mean, it's basically where he got it. And then I think maybe Henry Morris or one of his gurus made the actual idea, and then Hovind's none of his ideas are original. He took them from a couple people, and I think one was Henry Morris, if I'm not mistaken, but there was another person. But really, he's come up with nothing original to add to quote unquote creation science.
Yeah. And the lab at Dinosaur
What about-
Adventure, crap.
The what?
The
we think
lab
that
there
Yeah.
is rubbish. Sorry, Ghost, say?
Oh, what do you do if they found? What do you think that they said they found Noah's Ark and found Sodom and Gomorrah? Is that true?
Well, the same delusionals that have found everything else, wagon wheels at the bottom of the sea, which is just rubbish. They found the Ark of the Covenant. It should be in a Indiana Jones movie, not in a. It's not science. It's just exaggerated claims by a bunch of losers who want to somehow make money.
Right. I mean, Noah's Ark was a rock formation, and they found a team of archaeologists back in around 1960 went and investigated it and found nothing archaeological there. It was all natural rock formation. And then Ron Wyatt comes along, and of course he's saying that these volcanic rocks are anchors, and he's inventing all sorts of stuff. And really, all you have to do is debunk one of that guy's claims, and they're all debunked as far as I'm concerned, because he's claiming they're fact. And so one of his facts is a lie, which you can debunk. The chariot wheels are, coral formations. Where are the chariot wheels? I mean, they would be in museums right now if they actually existed.
Steven said I seen picture of him saying he holding stuff from the finds. Have you seen them?
From the what? Oh yeah, he was holding supposedly a deck timber from Noah's Ark, and it was just a rock. He held Noah's wife's finger in his hand. Supposedly there was a house near the ark. I've never seen anything about this. And it was Noah's house, and he was holding a giant finger, and Ron Wyatt and Mary Wyatt claimed it was Noah's wife's finger, and that there was a stone nearby that had all these carvings in it that depicted a boat on the ocean, a rainbow, animals getting off of an ark, and all these details. And it is just pure fantasy. I mean, I don't know how people believe this stuff. Logan, is that pretty accurate describing what Steven said he saw?
Yeah, I think so. He said he also hold other stuff.
Sulfur balls.
Yeah, the cousins of quad balls.
It's how do we know it was Noah's wife's finger? It could have been Noah's penis and attached to sulfur balls for all we know. Just
It was
stupid.
a huge finger. It would have made her like 8 feet tall. And I don't know what it actually was, but who knows? I mean, again, there are no scientific tests on any of this material.
No.
No one else has written
Oh,
about it. No actual scientists. And Ron Wyatt himself was never given any archaeological permit to dig in Israel, and he's a fraud, and that's all there is to it.
okay. That what Michael Jones says.
Michael Jones says he's a fraud.
Yeah, about Ron
Yeah,
Ryan.
everybody considers him a fraud except for extreme young Earth creationists who really will believe anything they're told by church authorities like Hovind or Ken Ham, Steven Anderson. And, Ron Wyatt's wife is just trying to keep the gravy train rolling for as long as she can by convincing these people to buy his crappy books. And that's
Tell me,
What do you say?
that's
Big
my
Bad
idea
Mama.
about it.
Big Bad Mama, is an archaeologist someone who searches for arcs? Hey, I was very sad on one of those clips I put up, or when I saw on the Steven channel, when it's going on and on and on, and then in the background, a little kid, and he sounds so cute, goes, "Can we go fly a kite?" Come
Right.
on. And you think, here's this poor kid keen to go and fly a kite, and his father's on this sort of channel discussing nonsense, and you just sort of feel sad. He seemed
Did you
happy.
see my comment?
Yes, I did. Look, he seemed happy enough. That's fine, but what chance has he got of growing up with an education with a father who was raised on a diet of Kent Hovind videos?
None.
None whatsoever.
And it's really sad, because if you did,
Sorry.
you use the scientific process in your thought process every day, in terms of your decision-making capacity.
Yes.
And when you don't have that and you can't make good decisions about just ordinary things in your life because you don't have that critical thinking capacity, then, you're just going to stumble from one disaster to another. And so I have to, that's why I do feel bad for Stephen, because he was raised in that environment, and hopefully his children are, hopefully they're going to public school at least, to where they can get some sort of an education. But
His son was on last night.
his son was?
Yeah, Bobby.
Was he
I
up?
forgot.
What? Nothing.
Oh, sorry. What will you do? Have you been where the Ark place at? I seen the pictures they showed of it. Have you seen the pictures of the place they said they
Yeah,
showed?
it's a folded rock formation. It's what's called a syncline, which is a folded rock formation. And
What about the place?
Mhm.
Oh. What about the place they said is Sodom and Gomorrah with the cod balls?
I've
sulfur
never
balls.
seen any sort of artifacts that have come from there. You could find sulfur in amongst volcanic rock formations, which are found all over the world, because volcanoes have erupted all over the world. So if they found sulfur in a particular location in that area, how does that point to the fact that there were two cities there that were wiped out? I mean, you would still have all sorts of artifacts to be found. And I haven't seen them, and I don't think they exist. I think all you've
What
got
if
are
they
the sulfur
found?
balls, really.
What if they found an ancient statue of Claude?
That might change my viewpoint.
You know, I was thinking that if my sister was to marry Stephen, my sister Ophelia, and she marries Stephen, and she's a very strong, you know, she wants to keep the Bowles name in the family, then their kids would be known as the Boland Balls. Stephen Boland Bowles and Ophelia Boland Bowles, and all the children. But so I hope that never happens. I hope he doesn't meet her.
It could be, yeah, or it could be Ophelia Balls Bolin.
It could be, yeah. Either way, it's quite a good name in a way. Boland Balls.
And her, if she,
Oh,
and if
I seen.
her husband, oh, it's Stephen. That's right. I was going to say get Harry in there.
Well, we don't. Oh, yes, no, we do. His middle name is not that. Andy. It is Andrew. Andy Balls.
Yeah. Oh, can I have some? I seen Sindig for your new video you have up about Ken Hova's attitude.
Oh, to women, yes, yes, yeah.
Yeah.
That
We sing
I
that
was
Big
just.
Bad Mama.
The what now?
Okay. Oh, go ahead, Carl.
It was just. I was looking through the Mitchell McKinnon video, and I just clipped a 1 minute clip for review purposes only, of course, on Kent Hovind, the women in Kent Hovind's life, and it made the important point that he was reported for tax offences by a woman, he was prosecuted by a woman, he was sentenced by a woman, all different, and of course, and then he was divorced by a woman, and so he doesn't like strong women in his life. He doesn't like women who make decisions that go against anything he wants because he's the boss. And it was a
Oh,
very So I
Big
put
Bad
that
Mama.
in a
Interesting. And
little clip.
guess who wrote the Daily Beast articles?
A woman?
Yeah.
Oh yes, yeah. Because he
Oh,
doesn't, apart from the ones he's bunking, he doesn't, well, even the ones he is, used to, he didn't like them now. So yeah, he's very cracks down on the women all the time. Some of it is a joke, but you can tell there's behind it. He really means it, you know.
It's passive aggressive
oh,
Yeah.
humor, basically.
Big Bad
Yeah.
Mama. You can anytime, any video you want to, but those one videos, you said you can download it on there if you want. The video you liked.
Oh, which one? Which one now?
You know the one you said it reminds you of your mom.
Oh, thank you, Gangster. I appreciate that.
Any video you want, you can download on there. But
Okay.
yeah, you're always welcome.
Did we figure out why we can't see our avatars yet, or is there any sort of way to fix that, or no?
I don't know. I don't get what's wrong.
I
It's not
think
a big deal with 3 people, but
it's a conspiracy.
right.
They're by the
Restream.
Illuminati
Yes, or the Proverbs guys to cause us problems.
and the Overlord and the Underlord.
It's
You ever heard of
stumped
the
the.
Underlord?
No, I haven't. I've heard
Okay.
of the underpants, but not the underlord. Maybe he's an underlord in his underpants, perhaps. I am the lord of my own pants.
I think I'll try to do a show on Logan, if you'll let me. I was going to do a show on the formation of the Hawaiian Islands
Oh,
because it's a good example of deep time.
Yeah,
I
You're
mean,
always
is
welcome
anyone
to have a show
interested
if
in
you want.
like geology topics and stuff?
I am
Yeah, that
very
sounds.
interested because when it comes to discussing with my creationist friends, I can't always explain it right. I get caught on the scientific stuff, whereas I understand the legal things and and accounting and tax fraud. But I can't always give a good
Right.
argument on the off the top of my head. So to hear that would be very interesting. Hmm.
Yeah.
It is.
When would you like to have it? Oh, sorry.
Let's see. Today is
Thursday.
Thursday, maybe. Um,
Yeah.
maybe on when do you usually have shows on? Do you have a show on Sunday ever, Logan?
Yeah.
Maybe on Sunday's show?
Yeah, that would be good. Any time you want,
I just have to,
have any show you
so I
want.
have to get on the computer, which I guess I did last time, and I was able to share screens when I talked to Dustin. So I'll get on the computer and I'll do the same thing and share some screens, and I'll just give a presentation. And then if anybody has questions, you can ask them. But
Can I ask you a question now? What the thing about Kent talks about the moon's leaving us.
right.
Uh, he said that's a proof for a young Earth. What would you say?
Okay, well, there's a principle called uniformitarianism, which means that processes that are happening now were happening in the past as well. And Kent believes in catastrophism, though, not uniformitarianism. So, why we would say that processes like erosion and sedimentation have happened throughout history, Kent believes it's catastrophism and it happened during Noah's flood. So when he says, well, according to evolutionists, the moon has been moving um, this many centimeters a year or whatever, he's basically saying that we believe and we believe in catastrophism as well and uniformitarianism, but he's saying that well, from a rate of this many centimeters a year, the moon would be this close billions of years ago. Well, we would say that we don't know that that rate of recession of the moon was, constant throughout that time. And in fact, it probably wasn't constant through that time. So he's kind of trying to use uniformitarianism to argue his point, where it's like, well, Kent, what is your viewpoint of how the moon got there? What is your evidence for how the moon got there?
Uh-huh. I think Claude put it there.
Well, I think also that you can Google some counter arguments to his. It's just clutching at clutching at straws to try and show that his Bible is 100% literally right accurate, which it isn't.
I mean, geology. The current, you had Darwinian evolution, and then you had neo-Darwinian evolution. Now you have what's called, I believe the correct term is evolutionary synthesis, which includes all the different parts of sciences that support evolution, including genetics, biogeography, etc. And so all those
Yeah.
different branches of science support one another. They each come to the same conclusions, and the evidence corroborate each other. So uh, when Kent does his criticism, he takes one little piece and he tries to come up with things that contradict that one little piece. Then the next show, he'll go to the next little piece and try to contradict that. But nowhere does he address the umbrella of the fact that all these disciplines of science, from physics to genetics to geology to biology, all support one another in their conclusions. And that's why we have the
Okay.
theory of evolution, which a scientific theory is not a colloquial theory, an idea. A scientific theory is filled with facts and evidence.
Model.
Oh yeah, model. And so that's why we have the germ theory for disease, you know. And really, once it gets to the theory stage, all it is refining it at that point. There's no, it's not going to be overturned by some, you know, Kent is doing nothing for, I don't know, I heard somebody make a statement. Kent is single-handedly dismantling evolution. It's like, what a joke that is.
Oh, I need to tell you. No, I found out there are actually people that deny the theory of germs.
They're welcome to.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
where,
I wouldn't
where's
want to
their
go anywhere
evidence?
near someone like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's crazy. I think a long time ago, I think what's his name used to be part of who donated to this weird uh Bill. What's his name? The guy who's on Real Time with Bill Maher. Oh yeah, Bill Maher guy donated to them before.
huh.
Yeah, is that crazy?
I'd have to see what the specifics are of that and what group it was, but I can't really comment on that.
Yeah,
Interesting.
that's worse than Flat Earth. You think so? You think that's more crazier than Flat Earth?
They're both
Denying
pretty.
germs?
They're both pretty bad. I mean, we can see these things under a microscope, so I don't know how it can be denied. But and of course, flat Earth.
Yeah,
We've seen the Earth from outer space, so I don't.
yeah,
Those
that's crazy.
beliefs are
What if?
just. It's just sad that we still have a flat Earth belief, and it's mostly in the United States at this point. But
What
um,
about Achilles?
Well, there's one
yeah,
person in Greece then.
he's a rare person probably for where he lives for believing in flat Earth. It's because he follows Hovind.
I
Well, part of it is because he follows Hovind, even though Hovind isn't a flat earther.
I heard another guy. I think he's from England. He does thing where he reads the Earth is flat. He lives in England.
Nobody ever shows their
What?
model for a flat Earth. So what's on the
Yeah,
underside of their flat Earth? Where is the ice
yeah.
wall?
What?
Um, I mean, I guess they say that Antarctica is the ice
Yeah,
wall, but I mean, we've been to the South Pole before.
yeah. It's crazy. Do you think they believe the turtles holding the Earth up?
It's pretty much the same thing. Turtles all the way
Yeah.
down.
Well, yeah. What if it's really Claude holding the Earth up?
Well, you're in trouble because I'm
Right,
going to
Claude?
scratch. I'm going to scratch myself and it's going to fall.
Topple over.
Yeah, I agree with you, Big Bad Mom. That's crazy stuff. Like denying germs and stuff. That's crazy talk.
Look, wherever there is a fool, there are other fools ready to follow them. It's a universal law.
Well, and it's really the same thing with evolution. You know, Logan, I don't want to offend you because I know you're Christian, and I don't know if you're a straight creationist or an old earth creationist, but at this point, the whole question of evolution has been settled in the scientific community for 150 years practically. And all we have is strengthened it, especially with DNA evidence, you know, which has been pointed out. I think Claude even talked about it yesterday. Darwin knew nothing about it. And yet,
Yeah.
the DNA evidence that we have found, all the fossil evidence we have found, and plate tectonic theory has supported evolution down the line. So it's nothing but strengthened the original premise of natural selection.
Look what this guy, Mr. Logo, say.
Oh, Mr. Logo, hey,
Says that-
it's hard for me to read that. Let's see here. BBM, there is
Look,
Stall,
okay.
Gull, and Ball on Flat Earth. 3 suns, and there are the outer lands beyond the ice wall. Okay. You learn something every day.
What if turns out the Earth is really triangle shape or box shape?
That makes more sense than flat.
Yeah.
My
Yeah,
questions to my
here's
2 questions for a flat earther
okay.
would be, why does it take the same length of time? Have you seen a flat Earth? What it looks like, Claude? Can you know what I'm picturing here?
Yeah.
A flat
Yeah.
Earth when it looks like what?
Well, what their model of a flat Earth looks like when you've seen it, it's like a map projection that's flat.
All
And
right.
so why does it take the same amount of time to fly around the Tropic of Cancer as it does to fly around the Tropic of Capricorn? If you look at them on a flat Earth map, the Tropic of, I think, Cancer's the North Tropic. They're the lines above one's lines above the equator, one lines below the equator, if you know where those are. But in one, a flight around one would take, over 2 times the length as the other one, looking at a flat Earth map. Of course, on a globe map, they're exactly the same distance practically. So that's one
Oh,
question
Big
that I
Bad
have. Let
Mama.
me get my other question out here, Logan. The other question I have is, why is there both an aurora borealis, which is the aurora that you find in the skies around the North Pole, but you also have an aurora australis, which is the southern aurora? Why? How can a flat Earth model explain both of those auroras?
Mm.
Well, I have a question for them. Here's the time when I'm in a car looking at the moon. It looks when I'm driving, my friend driving me. It looks like the moon is following us. How you explain that on a flat Earth? Because round Earth it makes sense because we're moving, but flat Earth it doesn't make any sense. Except they believe the moon will be following you. What do you think, Big Bad Mama?
Well, it's following you because it's so far away from you that you're not perceiving any sort of distance change from it. So it's hundreds of
Yeah,
thousands of miles away from us. So, if you're driving 50 miles, you're not going to see it's still going to look like it's following you. I think that would be my answer to that.
but what would you say to him? Here's another thing. Even this is what Ken Hova said before. If the Earth was really flat, you could be going like the tallest building or the tallest mountain, and have a powerful enough telescope. You would be able to see all the countries in the world. What do you think of that?
That's true. That's
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
And how come
And
I
the
got
is
that.
it
sun?
flat?
Yeah, go ahead.
How do
How
they
come the
explain
sun
why you
dips
don't?
below? Oh, I'm sorry, Claude. Go ahead.
How do you explain why they don't fall off the edge when you get to the edge of the flat Earth? How do they explain that?
There's an ice wall.
What if you climb up the ice wall?
Nobody can.
Oh, it's one of those
Why?
explanations.
And how
Oh,
does the sun set
yeah.
below the horizon? I mean, how does it's like in a flat Earth, the sun would get smaller and smaller as it reached the horizon. And it doesn't. The size doesn't change. And then how does it dip slowly below the horizon and then disappear completely. And yet you can still see the light coming up and lighting clouds even when it's below the horizon. It's just, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah,
And
crazy.
and if you look at the moon from a person looking at the moon at the exact same time in the northern hemisphere and in the southern hemisphere, say North America and South America, they can both see the moon, but the orientation of the features of the moon are different. I don't know if they're upside down or what, but it's been documented they're different.
Yeah, it's crazy. I seen that documentary on Netflix years ago. Oh, the flat Earth. They seem to worship the flat Earth like their god or something.
Most of them started as creationists, I would say, and were raised on that model. And then maybe some broke away from the religion part of it, but I still think 90% of them are biblical creationists.
Oh, guess who's here, Mr. Logo?
Oh, Mr. Logo, are you here? Mr. Logo's on the
I think you
stream.
might. Yeah, I think you might be muted, Mr. Logo.
Logan, you have to get this avatar thing fixed before your next stream.
Yeah, well, I'm so sorry about that. I didn't
That's okay.
get why it's like
It's
that.
just, it's going to be more of an issue when people don't know each other and like there's 6 people on the thing. But I mean, you,
Yeah, I'm
Claude, and
so
I
sorry
know
about
each
that.
other well. So, did Mr. Logo make it?
Mr. Logo, uh, I think you might be muted, Mr. Logo. I think you probably have to do what Stump. They had to change something in
In your settings?
settings, and then yeah. But what do you do? Yeah. What else you think? Some people try to deny that we went to the moon.
It's all a big conspiracy to these people that every university and every space agency, every professor, they're all in on this huge conspiracy to um, hold down creationism because for some reason creationism would, I guess, if they actually admitted creationism was true, would mean that God was, the biblical God was true. But uh, no conspiracy exists. I mean, it's ridiculous to even like suggest that there's a global conspiracy like that because it would be at every
You think
university
Claude
in
could be
every country. Did we get Mr. Logo on board here?
Are you there, Mr. Logo? He's probably still fixing, working on his thing with you, I guess.
Did
Logan,
you
I'm going to drop off for 5 minutes and get myself some food, and I'll be back in 5.
I'll be
Okay.
counting. I'll be counting.
Okay.
See ya, Mr. Logo. But Claude, how I know you're not part of the overlords?
Because I am Captain Underpants. Yeah.
Oh,
As opposed to Captain Overlords.
yeah. Do you get it fixed, Mr. Logo? But Claude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does that sadden you that you're not Achilles type?
No, it's a relief. I'm glad I'm not his type. I don't want to be dumb. I want to have intelligence.
Oh,
I want to think. I want to be scientific and reason. Mm.
I can imagine you being the new Einstein. You kind of look
I'll
like
never,
Einstein.
I'll never be that. But did you hear on their show? They were also talking about
Oh,
Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg, and talking about how
yeah.
they say the same type of things as Satan or something. It was just bizarre. I made one or two clips of that as
Yeah.
well. Mm.
They also talked about the Martians. Does it believe
Yes,
we went to Mars? Because yeah. What do you think of that? Is that crazy?
totally crazy.
There, Big Bad Mama.
Hello.
Um,
Wow.
the other, did
Okay.
I
did you
saw
hear the
that, Claude.
discussion? Did you hear the discussion yesterday on Proverbs of the words you could or couldn't use? And Dick was out. Dick was out on Proverbs, guy. But you could say butthead and ass, which I thought was, and then
I
jerk.
think
They
ass was
referred,
controversial. Achilles said ass was fine,
yeah,
but
and butthead too.
I don't
But
think
not,
Stephen never acknowledged that saying ass was fine. But they were all,
yeah,
yeah. Dustin was the only one that was supporting Dick.
yeah. And then
Um,
he asked if jerk was okay. And then Achilles called jerk the J word. I mean, for goodness sake.
right, the J word, jerk. And then Dustin said, "Whoa, woe unto you" is a curse word.
Yes, but
And woe just means misfortune. I
yeah.
mean, I don't know where he got that woe is ever used as a curse word. Um,
Does that D word also mean Richard?
yes.
It's an abbreviation for
Oh,
Richard. Yeah. They are a bunch of
oh.
Richards, in my view.
I think Dick was pretty much out, except Dustin was the only one to accept it as
Well, I
a
guess
legitimate.
you couldn't have Dick in on a Christian show.
Right.
Dick had to be out. Oh my goodness.
And then, yeah, I did hear the one about Zuckerberg and Elon Musk and stuff, and they're actors for. There's some overlords that are
Yes,
controlling and paying them, right?
yes.
Are
I
you the
was.
Overlord?
It was the overlords again, and they were like actors that were playing roles. And Mark
Mm.
Zuckerberg really didn't found Facebook, I guess, but it's kind of not what history shows. But
I, I
Oh,
know
just
in
it's
his
people with the
just,
mind.
I
co-founder.
mean,
Oh, right.
everything is just a conspiracy
Yeah.
with them.
Yeah. Are you part of the Overlords, Big Bad Mama?
I wish.
Well, are you part of the Underlords?
Yes. Way under.
Yeah. Yeah. Achilles, he's funny guy. Every time he talks, makes me laugh. He's just so funny. He said, no, no. Every time he talks makes me laugh. It's funny under his accent. But what do you think of him, Big Bad Mama?
Uh, I'm glad you find him humorous. I I see a lot of anger in that guy and a lot of sadness.
Yeah.
And yes, he does say funny things. I agree, and that was funny. But I feel bad for the guy. I mean, I've never had a bad interaction with him when I've been on a stream. Really,
Yeah,
um,
he called you the Big Black Mama.
yeah, he called me Big Black Mamba, which is
Oh,
fine. I don't that kind of
sound
stuff
like
doesn't bother me. But um, you know, I've heard him say stuff on his own streams that are like kind of reprehensible, but in my own interactions with him, I don't remember ever getting into it with him or anything. Yeah, I feel bad for the guy. Um, it doesn't mean I'm
Yeah.
not going to criticize him if he says something abhorrent, but um, I don't know. I don't mind the people that are on Proverbs. I mean, the only one I guess I have an issue with is maybe Proverbs himself.
Yeah. Uh,
What do you think, Claude?
Well,
yeah. What do you think,
they,
Paul?
they don't like me, which is fine. But I actually have a bit of an issue with all of them in terms of their thinking. You know, it's not personal, but you know, Stephen is very bombastic and dictatorial. He would like to be the new Mr. Hovind. Um, so probably next thing we'll see a fundraiser to buy him a doctorate too. I don't know. But he couldn't even get the money to buy his car. You know, Achilles is delusional and flat earth. I mean, that dismisses him out of hand. It makes him a joke, in my view. Dustin goes along with it and is sometimes very aggressive. Lupin is nuts. You know, there's not much really going for them. I find it entertaining. You know, I can get a laugh out of it when they're not being, but they're not doing it for a laugh. They're actually very serious. And that's quite sad. You know, they're the laughing stock,
Will
in
you?
my view.
Right, that's how I feel. I mean, I think
Yeah,
their ideas are ridiculous,
just nuts.
but
Yeah,
you know, we're more as human beings than just our ideas and our beliefs. And
yeah,
so I just see a bunch of sad people there that are probably in different states of depression. Um, and they've kind of come together to kind of prop up each other's
yeah. And that's
delusions.
nice. Mm.
Um,
Uh,
but ultimately, they need to
Big
be
Bad Mom.
outside of that group in order to get any sort of help uh, that they actually need. Yeah, Logan. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
Achilles. Oh, that's right. Achilles. He loves those old time Tiny Toons.
What's a Tiny Toon?
That's like back in the '90s version of Looney Tunes, where
Oh, okay, okay.
and
Well, I like Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck, and I probably still do. In fact, I know I still do.
it,
But
that was part of the Looney
oh, okay,
Tunes thing.
I just like
Tiny
the
Toons.
original cartoons back from like the 40s and 50s and stuff.
Yeah, me too. I like those too. I even yeah, they're good. They remind me of Claude Balls. I can imagine him being
He'd be a good character, like with Foghorn Leghorn or Yosemite Sam.
yeah.
Yeah, those are
Uh,
classic
yeah,
cartoons. I never saw the Tiny Toons, but weren't they just small Sylvesters and small Bugs Bunnies? And
like a new generation of them, like two Bugs Bunnies, a boy and a girl, kid ones, and a little Tasmanian devil, and the same guy was a rich kid, and Elmer Fudd turned. They had a girl, like his daughter, I guess, and, and a little Daffy Duck. It was actually I remember growing up watching it as a kid.
oh, okay,
It was a
that was
good
a
show.
little after my time.
Yeah, Bugs Bunny and them show up in it and stuff, and
Okay,
it was a pretty good show.
and
Yeah, I remember
Achilles
watching
likes that. Achilles
a lot of them.
likes that show, or he liked that show.
Yeah, yeah, he always like showed clips from them on there.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, but oh, that's three people. Anyways, yeah, that show. especially Achilles. He's such a funny guy. Every time I hear his name, I keep on thinking that rapper, R. Kelly.
Oh God. I mean, I know who Achilles was from Greek mythology, the Trojan War and stuff. So that's who it reminds me of, is the actual original Achilles, who I think Achilles
Hello? Hello?
references. Who is
Hello?
this?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Mr.
Yeah,
Logo.
hello. Hello. Can you hear me?
Hi, Mr. Logo.
Hello?
Yeah, I
Hi.
can hear you. We can hear you.
Good, good, good. I had some problem with the audio setting to get that in.
Oh, that's good. How are you, Mr. Logo?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Good.
Hi, Mr. Logo.
Hi. Hi, good to talk to you, Big Bad Mama.
Yeah, great to talk to you.
Yeah.
I love your
And here's Paul.
comments.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. I was like observing the whole thing from a remote position and commenting just usually via text.
Good. Well, it's good to talk to you.
Good talk. What do you think of Claude balls?
Hello.
Yeah, hello, Claude. Nice to see you.
Where are you located, Mr. Logo? Can we ask?
Yes, I'm in Sweden, but I'm originally from Germany.
Nice.
Oh.
But I'm living in Sweden.
So you're so do you know the work of Smeared with Soot?
Yes, I do.
Good.
Yes, he has some nice videos.
Oh yeah, and just a great guy too.
Yes, and he really gets to the point, right?
Yeah, yeah. And then we have Deviant Outcast from Sweden as well, and she doesn't have any videos, but she'll come on the stream and talk to us. And she's an archaeologist, and I think she studied Egyptology in school.
Yes, I know. She was once often like joining Mark Stoney's streams, right? When he was
Right.
streaming.
Exactly. And she actually, I would encourage everybody to go to her channel. And she doesn't have any videos, but she's got some really amazing playlists that she's put together on different topics. She's really into Scientology, so that's one of the topics. But there's several really good playlists on her channel. So just throwing that out there.
Oh, that's good.
Mr. Logo, do
Are
you
you
have
part of
video? Do
Scientology?
you have video content on your channel?
Yes, a little, but
Yeah.
I'm not recently. I'm not much into doing that. Maybe I will start at one point. I don't know, but I have a few videos, but it's been a long time ago. Right?
I forget if I'm subscribed to your channel or not, but I'll definitely go over there.
So I will definitely not be the next. What is that guy who's streaming who has like hundreds of millions?
Brett Keane?
No, holy moly, no. Is the second, I think, the second biggest channel in history, right? I will surely not become him.
Oh, PewDiePie?
Right? Yeah, no, bigger than what was that name? Mr. Beast.
Oh, Mr. Beast.
Mr.
Okay.
Beast. I will not be the next Mr. Beast. Definitely not.
I don't think any of us will.
I'd say Claude could.
All right. Well, I think Claude's definitely gonna get a lot of subs, and he's already accumulating quite a few. But I think Claude's channel's gonna continue to grow pretty well,
Yeah.
especially with his
Take
own
over the world.
streams and stuff.
Yeah.
We're all in it for the same end. We're all in it to save people's souls from the clutches of a charlatan.
Right. I might even start to stream in 2024. We'll have to see.
Yeah, well, that would be really good. But other than that, just keep doing your clips because they're so good.
Thank you. I'll keep doing those for sure. Yeah.
Mr. Logo, would you like to
Yeah.
come on tonight at 7 Eastern Standard Time? Brian Newman.
No, unfortunately, that is quite late for me. That is at night, deep at night at 1:00 or something, right? I saw that, yeah,
Ooh.
but
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
now
Brian
no.
Newman. He's the okay. Yeah, that's late. Wow, what? How many hours later are you than me? I'm 1:19.
Here it's 7:19 in the evening.
Wow, 6 hours.
Yeah, that's like East Coast to Europe, right? We are Central European time, I guess.
Wow, wow.
Super Ghost Boy.
What do you think of that?
Super Ghost Boy. Where is wasn't the Deviant Outcast wanting a show so she could come on?
Yeah,
He
I
needed an
sent her
hour
a
and a
link.
half,
All right.
I think, something like that. She needed some amount of time to go do some stuff, but
Oh, because she
hopefully
was
she comes on.
asking, to come on. I thought, oh well. Maybe to get the Swedish
Love.
chef ingredients. Sorry?
Is she your one true love?
Well, no. I decided to stay away from women for at least a week.
Uh-huh.
Missing Mod
But you go
emailed
without
me,
draw.
Claude.
Yes.
Claude, did you hear me?
What happened?
What was that?
Missing Mod emailed me.
All right. Yes. And all is well. Difficult to say. I see she's put
Difficult.
up a lot of
It's difficult to say.
pro-Hoven videos have just come her way, so that's interesting. But that's fine. We can differ on that.
Yeah, she's posting, I guess, different debates of his, but
I quite like it because he always looks like a fool.
yeah, I mean,
I
whatever. It's
I
like,
watch it. I watch it. And a lot of times the sound go out on it
they're very
on the
old.
videos she showed. Yeah. Mr. Logo.
Yeah.
What do you think of Ken
Of whom?
Hope?
Oh, okay. Well, I would not debate with such people when people are like doing these debates, right? He's constantly asking for that. I mean, what he's doing in his compound is his problem, right? But I recommend
Yeah.
that people should not go to such cults as they are, right?
Yeah.
Right.
What do you think of that, Big Bad Mama?
Yeah,
Claude?
I would agree with that. I kind of wish everyone would stop debating Kent at this point,
Yes, and
because
there's that
it's
journalist.
it's already been said.
Yeah, there's that journalist. What is his name? Mitchell.
McKinnon.
McKinnon
Yes.
Mitchell, and he definitely said that he in that video, in that very long, very telling video, right? He said atheists do not debate Kent Hovind, and he has there's a good reason for that, right? Because
Well,
he's not Kent is in principle not talking to us when he's in these debates, nor is he
right.
talking to the other guy who's debating with, right? Is
Yeah.
that correct? He's
He's
talking to
talking
a
to his
certain
audience.
yes, to a certain audience, not to just any audience, to a certain audience, to some trailer park kids who have no idea about the topic. And he's kind of he would be even make more influence if he used that southern brawl, that southern language. He's not able to do that, right? Because he's from north, right?
Right.
But
Right.
then he would get more support from them. But that's what he's addressing, and those people are already first willing to accept authority, and they already believe in the Bible, right? And so he's not talking to us. Then why debate him? There's no point in doing that.
I mean, there are reasons like for debate and against debate, and I guess the reason not to debate him is you're putting creationism on an even keel with actual science, which
Exactly.
nobody in the scientific community would agree that creationism has any credibility whatsoever.
Exactly.
Um,
Right.
so the other side, you could say that, well, if you present a really good scientific argument that could actually debunk Hovind, then the people that are watching might at least have that information at their disposal. And you might get a couple people that are on the fence to maybe even become old Earth creationists, which I think is a step in the right direction from being a young Earth creationist. But
And you know what they will hear when he's talking, then when he's replying, you know what they hear?
what?
God, 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 and that's it,
Yeah,
right? So and then
design,
they are,
design,
and then
design, design, design.
they are already in. Then the only thing what he has to do is to pull them from some other ministry over to himself, right? There's the probability that they all suddenly science and rational behavior is great is essentially zero,
Yeah,
right? The only thing is he has to get them from some other ministry to himself, and that's what he's doing, and that's what all his wording is about, right? So I think we should not act as commercials for him, as as billboards for him, and that's why I would never debate such a person.
I do have to say though that used to work for him and it worked really big for him, but now whatever is happening is not working for him. And from what I can tell, he's losing donations and he's becoming more desperate for his to create new scams to try to get donations. So whatever is happening, whatever people are doing seems to be working, and maybe it's just Ken getting older himself, but I think he's losing his following.
Yeah.
Claude, I'd like your opinion on that.
Yes, I think that the only way, first of all, they're not real debates anyway. It's just a rant from him. And he always insists on a moderator that is biased towards him. So I would not debate on that channel of Standing for Truth, who is demonstrated to interfere, to help Hovind in many ways. And the other moderators on his channel do the same thing. And so it's not a level playing field. So that would be a good reason to say no. Now, despite that, I did offer a challenge to debate him on tax crimes and structuring, because I do have a good knowledge of that and I can beat him on that. He has refused my challenge. So that's fine. So either way, I'm not going to debate him because he's refused my challenge. I would not debate him on science because it's not my strength, Yeah. So for a debate to happen, it would have to be someone really good, and it would have to be on a channel that didn't interfere to get him off answering questions or to help him out.
That's a good
That's
point.
not going to
Yeah.
happen. He insists on Donnie,
Yeah. The telling thing is when someone offered him the so-called debate,
Yeah.
in the title would have been as the structures are as much evidence as they are for evolution as they are for design.
Yeah.
He declined that. He declined
Yes.
that debate, and that's very telling. And you know who was that? Robert
No.
Beatty. Robert Beatty offered that.
All right. Wow.
And so not about
That's right.
any legal issue, but just because of the person, he declined it.
Yeah.
And then he keeps asking, debate me, right? Then why does he ask debate me when he's declining debates because of the person?
Yeah.
Right. And that is very telling that he's trying to, there's something what he wants to shield about that. He does not want to picture that specific person on his channel or on any channel. Right. Because that would tell his target audience would get some clue of, oh, who is that? Right. And that would be a problem. Because
Yeah.
he has been telling something that was wrong, and Robert Beatty has been calling him out on that. And even in a scientific, this would have been a scientific debate, and he declined it, and that is really telling. And by the way, even in science, we are not like debate is more a topic of politics, right? We are usually bringing our own data in. There are not these debates like in politics or something. That is just not a scientific issue, right? We are usually presenting our own measurements, and then there can be questions and answers. But there are not these debates as he wants to have them. That's just not a thing. That doesn't exist, right?
The only thing I thought about debating him on was, since I'm a geologist, and I think one of his weakest subjects is geology, I was thinking of a debate about the Grand Canyon with him, because I think I could make a pretty good case against him on that. Kind of more of a deep time, evolution a little bit, but more of a deep time case, because if you can kind of make a case for deep time with these people, I think that you can at least start to accept some of the scientific evidence. But it's that 6,000 years based on the genealogy and Genesis that really defines their whole history.
Are you calling Jesus a liar? Are you?
I never built anything.
And he won't do it without his little Donny Dicky liquor to help him out,
But if I did a geology debate, Donnie doesn't know that much about geology, and that's why Donnie likes to concentrate on genetics. And with genetics, those guys can always go back to design. It always comes back to a design. No matter what the evidence is, whether it's human chromosome 2 fusion or endogenous retroviruses and all those things, they can fall back on the design, but they have a really hard time when you go layer by layer in the Grand Canyon and you find, animal tracks and different structures, sand dune structures, which formed above the water surface. They have a really hard time explaining that with a global flood model.
Right.
So that's why I always thought more of a geology. I tried to, and I even steered Grayson-based theory in that direction, and he actually followed my advice, and he had a debate on geology with Professor McQueen, if you know who that is.
Steve McQueen.
No, David McQueen. He's this elderly guy who's a creation. He's an actual geologist, but he's a creationist as well. But
Okay.
his arguments just fall apart.
Is he related to Steve McQueen?
Possibly.
Oh, no. What do you think, Mr. Logo?
Pardon? About what?
The McQueen guy they're talking about.
Steve McQueen or what?
Not Steve McQueen. What is his name?
No, I don't know that guy, that person. I don't know him.
David McQueen is kind of the standard geologist that Standing for Truth trots out there to try to support creation geology, I guess. Flood geology.
Okay.
You ever watch Standing for Truth, Mr. Logo?
Not much of it. No, a part of it. I just once saw that little part where what is that channel named? Dr. Dan came in
Right.
And the Standing for Truth was discussing about chromosomes and tried to lump everything into that, like the differences are also not just in the sequence but in the forms of chromosomes, and then Dr. Dan stopped him and said, no, wait, these are not the same categories. He stopped him right in his tracks, and that was a funny moment, I think. But other than I think Kent has always been accusing so-called atheists of how they are acting like used car salesmen. You know who the used car salesman was? Exactly that.
SFP.
Exactly that person. Exactly that person was the real used car salesman.
Johnny Deals. That's what they called him.
So that is the irony, right? For in the dictionary for irony, there was no definition. They just glued the picture of him into that.
I want to ask you guys, what do you think if I got Donnie from Stand for Truth to come on my show? What would you like to ask him?
I'd ask him why he always interferes on the side of Hovind and how he can say he's independent and not biased.
Well, I would say, why did you say evolution is correct? Because there was a quote from him where he said that, and then he said, "Oh, it was funny. I was just in a funny way." But yeah, well, you can
I
always
think, was
change
that Mr. Logo, was that when he was talking to Grayson, Base Theory, on that phone call, and he admitted believing in evolution?
I think there was a quote out there where it's like, right, where he said
Because I have that
evolution
recording.
is
I always
correct.
meant to release that at some point.
Right? There are always like people who record that and then they can bring that up, right? And then it's fly, and then he has to weasel his way out and say, "Oh, I was just joking" or something.
Right.
Right? I mean,
he didn't
there's
sound like he was joking at the time.
Again, I think there's also a difficult thing to talk to such people, right? And for the reason why.
That it's difficult to talk to somebody like SFT?
In a way, right? Because he will always find a way to sell you that car.
Right.
Right? Isn't that correct?
Mr. Logo, what do you think of you ever heard of that guy called Achilles?
Oh yes, when I was watching your show and Claude's show. Yes, I just heard that recently. But I was usually on Discord. I was discussing with flat earthers a lot, but I stopped it because always there's again. It became so standardized and so it's the same arguments over and over, and then it always boils down to this is just this is all CGI. All your pictures are CGI from the round Earth and so on. I mean, and then I finally said, well, with that argument, I could toss out each and every measurement and each picture and each photograph and each thing. I could always say, also in return, your flat Earth could be CGI. And then I stopped and was leaving that whole thing. Right?
I mean, doesn't it come a time where something so ridiculous, you can't argue it anymore, and it has to be mocked or socially shamed, that belief system, because the debate is done, and like somebody that believes in, or even treated as a mental illness, but somebody that believes there's leprechauns all over the place that are, I mean, we don't have serious debates with people that believe that.
Yeah, and there was something like that, right? There was a joke made of birds are not real, but they are robots and they are drones, and then suddenly some people started to believe that, right? And there was another group which said the Earth is donut shaped, and they got quite some following even on Facebook, I think. But that has been some years ago, right? But anyway, so the weirdest thing, some people, when you tell something to 1 million people, a few will believe it, right? And then
Right. And there was a
my question,
dinosaurus. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
my question is then, will you also discuss with those that if birds are actually robots or not? But that's absurd, right?
You just make fun of them. I mean, isn't that the solution? Is you make their ideas seem so ridiculous that they're a joke. Not them as people, but their ideas. And that's the next phase that it gets to, as far as I'm concerned, because otherwise, why you're debating about everybody's delusion in the world? Everybody's delusion has equal standing with reality.
Yeah. What do you think of that, Claude? I think Claude is a leprechaun.
No, I totally agree, but I take it a bit further. I don't sort of mock. I do mock the ideas, but I don't let the people off so easily. I mock them as well, which could be a little bit naughty, but I think they deserve it, you know, because they're wrecking other people's lives. I don't care if they wreck their own lives, but when they wreck their children's lives and the lives of other people they affect, they are not good people. They are terrible people. So I do get stuck in a bit more. I'm a bit more inclined to have an argument with the people too.
Right, but wouldn't that, Claude, that would be a different type of attack. It wouldn't be, you would mock the idea, but you wouldn't be mocking the person at that point. You'd be actually critical of that person,
Yes,
and
yeah,
what they're
yeah,
doing. So it's a little bit different. It's
it's a
not
bit different.
mocking that person, but it's a serious, it becomes a serious issue.
Well, they get into this thing of respect. I have to respect them. Well, I don't respect them. So, you know, and so they normally I get blocked from their shows because I'm not respectful. Well, so be it.
Oh no. What if they steal your pot of gold?
Yes.
God. He's just a lovable little guy.
Well, I don't think they're going to think I'm very lovable now.
You just launched
Sorry
a
about that.
barrage of videos about them.
Oh no. What do you think, Mr. Logo?
Sorry, my connection is not the most stable here.
Still better connection than sea signs. I don't. Wait, Mr. Logo, have you heard of that guy's sea signs?
C sign. Yeah, I saw some. Yes, but just in chat.
Yeah, he has such bad connection in his thing. Right, Big Ben Mama? Are you there?
Hello.
Are you there? Big Ben Mama, are you there?
Sorry, I was making
You there?
myself some food. Yeah, Sea Science does have a
Oh,
bad
sorry about
connection.
that.
I agree.
How about Claude? Does he think he have one too? Have you ever talked to sea signs, Claude?
Well, in the chat, I have different comments. I think, let me think, what is a good word to describe sea science? The word fool comes to mind.
Oh no, April Fools?
No, every month of the year, fool.
Oh,
Every day of the
yeah,
year,
but thing
fool.
crosses the line when he starts attacking people's wives and stuff, like he
Oh,
did to Aiden. That what I have a problem with.
Definitely, yeah.
I find cover to cover Coven Lover very frustrating.
I think Aiden is some kind of a
Oh,
story, right? He's like talking like really lots, right? And he's like an entertainer,
Yes, he's
right?
great.
Yeah, yeah, he's a very good. I mean, not only does he know his stuff, but he can rattle it off the top of his head like nobody. I mean, he's super intelligent kid. And I don't want to call him a kid but
He just
compared with me, he's a kid. Um, but yeah, he's super smart, super funny, and he'd make a great actor. I mean, the guy can do imitations, great imitations.
Big
what
Bad
if he
Mama, what?
plays in a movie based on your life? Oh, go ahead.
What, Mr. Logo?
Oh, you could go
Um,
ahead, Loco.
one question. Big Bad Mama, are you into games, video gaming, or not? Like on Steam?
No, I mean, I haven't. You know, I played video games back in the day, but we're talking Asteroids and Caterpillar and
Ah, okay.
Galaga and then I just stopped and I never got into the PlayStation stuff. I'm a musician, so I kind of that's my what I concentrate on for the most part in terms of like that's
Well,
my big hobby, I guess. But
Okay.
some of the
I just
games are
wanted to
fun.
know.
I'm sorry.
I just wanted to know.
Oh, okay. What's your favorite game?
uh-huh.
Oh, I have a few, like 7 Days to Die.
You
You
ever?
know that?
Huh?
7
I
Days
never
to
heard of it.
Die. Okay.
7 Days to Die. That is really good. I mean, when I see how much of a hate boner Kent has against video games, right? Yeah, but that's the truth, right? I
Yeah,
wonder why. And the reason is again the same thing, right? He's trying to get people off from games to his stuff, right? Not they should not
right.
play games. They should watch his gobbledygook. Right? That's the thing why he hates games, not because games are bad. That's not the reason.
Well, I also think that his own people are playing games on their
Yes.
computers and phones and not
Yes.
working
And there
14
was even
hours a
the
day.
allegation that they, I mean, from what was that, Mark Stoney, and there was some when they were all like, he was really like angry on when he got out from there, right? And
Yeah,
he was really making lots of videos at that time. I mean, it took some
yeah.
time for him to recover from that. But then there was some allegation that there were even a porn production or whatever that was on that. And I was once in chat asking that is that porn video coming out from DAL, right? I mean, when they have a living production, right? But maybe they stopped it, right? But
Well, they
that's the
had
irony. That's always like coming back on you when you're doing such things, right?
right. They had cameras set up in every cabin, and I think Steve Lynn actually had. I mean, and I don't want to bring up the person's name because I like this person, but I think Steve filmed, at least one having sex with him and one other person, and um, he just had this whole like little studio set up in his place, and I guess there were just computers everywhere, and from what we're being told, he might still even be controlling the Dinosaur Adventureland donations.
But I just wanted to know if you are
Mhm.
like a big gamer or something or not.
You ever play Fortnite?
No, I did not. No. But I think it's more like for 14, 15-year-olds, right? Fortnite. I don't know. Maybe there are adults who are playing that as well. But I think it's more like for
Are you there? I think
I
you
think we
froze.
lost you, Mr. Logo.
Oh, sorry, Mr. Logo.
That's great to have Mr. Logo on.
Oh, yeah. We like it. They made a game called Super Balls Brothers. You play as Claude going around fighting against Ken Howell and like a Mario-like game.
Claude does look a little like Mario, doesn't he? Except handsomer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, you
Right,
sweet
Claude?
talking people.
He could save Missing Mod from them. I do.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I was going to say something, but I'm not going to.
Oh, sorry. Would you be a Ouija?
A Ouija board?
No, I mean, he's Mario. You could be a Ouija.
Oh, I don't know that game too well.
And
except for the people that were trying to
Aiden
break
could
the
be.
world record, they made a documentary about it.
Oh. And Aiden could be the little guy with the hat. Yeah. And the dragon could be Kent Hova. What do you think of that, Big Bad Mama?
I don't. If I knew those characters, I could make a comment. But Claude, do you know these? Do you know the video games and stuff? Or?
No, I don't play the video games.
I mean, I don't judge people that play video games.
No, neither do I. No, it's Hoven
It's like,
does.
it just kind of relaxes people, I think. And
Hoven wants to dictate everything about someone's life. He doesn't play video games, probably because he can't, but he loves driving around in four-wheelers all day. So, what's the difference?
Well, and there's just videos of him watching television all day long. What's the difference between watching an old war movie on television and playing a video game? I mean, a video game is probably actually better for you in terms of like developing your hand-eye coordination, but he's so judgmental about. But I really think it's because his followers are playing video games instead of listening to him or doing the work on the latest cabin or what have you.
Yeah. Yes, that's the whole reason. You can.
Easy.
Logan, how long are you going to go here?
Would you like me to shut it down now, or?
May as well shut it down now, and then you come back later for your next one.
Yeah.
You're going to come back at
Thank you guys
4?
For coming. 7.
Okay, so it'd be 4 my time. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry about that. I keep on getting.
Oh no, that's okay. Yeah, I should go by
Would you like
Eastern time like everybody else, but I might come on there. What about you, Claude?
Yeah. What time will that be?
7 Eastern
7
Standard
p.m.
Time.
So that I could probably come for a while. Yeah.
Well, would you like to ask the guy about the dreams? Would you like to have him interpret your dream?
Oh, I can interpret the dreams myself.
Well, I remember. I need to. I remember this one time. It was the second time Wesley was on Father Charles' show. He wanted Brian Newman to interpret his dream.
Oh.
And he did. And he ended up telling Wesley that he's asked Wesley, is he schizophrenic? And Wesley got old man and said, "Gnash your teeth, Allah."
Oh.
And it was crazy. He calls people Allah as put down.
Oh dear.
Well, you shouldn't diagnose people with schizophrenia if you're not a professional.
He was asking him.
Oh, okay, because that's for somebody to do that. I don't, and you're not trained or you have no, degree in that. I think it's, I don't think I know what the word is, but irresponsible.
Proper.
I have to go now, so I say goodbye and thank you, Ghost
and
Big Bad Mama.
Okay, we'll see you later. And
see you later.
Gangster, thank you for the thank you for the stream, and good to see Mr. Logo too.
Sure.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.
Bye, everyone.